She chose her ex over me on our wedding day. I was buttoning my tux when the text came through. I can't do this. Trevor came back. This is fate. I'm sorry. My hands stopped moving. I called her 15 times straight. Every call went to voicemail. I drove to her apartment still dressed for the wedding, boutonniere wilting on my lapel. Her roommate answered the door. She left with Trevor an hour ago. I had 200 people waiting at the church. I stood at that altar alone and told everyone the wedding was off. That same night, she posted photos of them together with his ring on her finger. Sometimes love finds its way back. Trevor was her ex she'd always said meant nothing. I stopped eating entirely. Lost 20 pounds in 2 weeks. My suit's hanging loose on my frame. Then the anger finally took over and consumed me. I enrolled in law school that fall and completely disappeared from our shared world. No social media presence, no social life, nothing existed except books and relentless work. Meanwhile, Vanessa married Trevor just 6 months later. A big vineyard wedding with perfect sunset photos plastered everywhere online. All our mutual friends attended and posted about how beautiful it was, but things fell apart for them remarkably fast. Trevor got fired twice in 1 year from different jobs. They moved constantly, always one step ahead of unpaid rent and mounting bills. Her Instagram shifted dramatically to desperate captions about fighting for love and never giving up on marriage. My old roommate saw them screaming at each other in a grocery store parking lot. Someone else spotted him storming out, leaving her crying alone at a restaurant on their anniversary. 2 years in, people whispered that she'd stopped posting about her photography business entirely. It had completely failed. Then I finally graduated with my law degree and opened my own mediation practice. Good money flowing in, real respect in the community, professional success and recognition. My assistant brought me a new file one Tuesday afternoon. Court-ordered divorce mediation case. I opened it casually. Trevor and Vanessa Foster. My entire world stopped spinning. I read through that file twice, absorbing every painful detail. Married since the vineyard wedding everyone had attended. Divorcing now after barely 3 years together. They had absolutely nothing but mounting debt and one broken down car between them. The court had assigned them to me specifically because every other mediator in the county was completely booked solid for months. 3 mandatory mediation sessions before their court date in 2 weeks, or face a 6-month delay that would keep them legally bound together. They were completely stuck with me as their mediator. I walked to the waiting room window and looked through carefully. He bounced his leg aggressively, looking absolutely furious about being there at all. She slumped over in her chair, staring at nothing in particular with dead eyes. She'd gained at least 40 pounds since I'd last seen her, wearing a stained shirt, greasy, unwashed hair pulled back messily. They sat on opposite sides of the waiting room, as far apart as physically possible. I opened the door and stepped out professionally. Your 2 o'clock appointment? He looked up first, squinting at me suspiciously. Do I know you from somewhere? She slowly lifted her head, saw my face clearly for the first time, went completely white like she'd seen a ghost. Her mouth opened slowly. No sound came out at all. She grabbed the chair armrest desperately, knuckles turned white from gripping so hard, visibly shaking all over. He noticed her reaction immediately. What the hell is wrong with you? She continued staring at me in absolute horror. Vanessa, you know him, she whispered hoarsely. Please, no, not him. I stayed completely professional despite everything. Come inside, please. He stood up, looking annoyed at all the drama. Let's just go. He walked past me into my office confidently. She sat frozen in place, finally stood on shaky legs, looked utterly terrified of facing me. They sat down in the chairs across from my desk. She immediately stared at my framed law degree on the wall, my state license hanging there, my mediation awards displayed prominently. Started crying immediately, tears streaming down her face. He looked impatient, checking his watch repeatedly. Can we please just start this? I folded my hands professionally on the desk. Vanessa and I have significant history together. He stiffened noticeably in his chair. What kind of history? I looked directly at her tear-stained face. Vanessa left me at the altar 4 years ago, the morning of our wedding. She sent a text and left with you, Trevor. Complete silence filled the entire room. His face shifted through emotions rapidly, confused, then shocked, then absolutely furious. He spun around in his chair to face her directly. What the fuck? She sobbed harder, covering her face with both hands. He shot up so fast his chair crashed backward loudly. You were engaged? You left someone standing at their actual wedding? Now he was yelling at full volume. She nodded through her tears, crying so hard she couldn't speak or breathe. He stared at me with new eyes, really seeing me now for the first time. She told me you two dated briefly. She said you were nobody important. I stayed perfectly calm throughout it all. Her text message said you came back and it was fate. His fists clenched white. You lied. Our marriage started with you destroying someone's life.